I highly suggest checking out my trip details video of going to Ecuador and Peru, where and if you choose to join me, will be taking on the field of plant medicines, which is going to be extremely useful and helpful within your journey, whatever you're seeking. It is there. It is there, okay? So I hope that this has kind of help you experience it through my eyes and my trip report, and hopefully incline you to come with me to Ecuador and Peru. Everyone is invited, right? So I would love to have you join with me. But besides that, the next day was normal. I didn't have like any super trippy effects or anything like that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you join me in my other videos. And also, if you have come from Luminostic's channel, hi, my name is Athena, and I'm gonna be going to the retreat. So if you guys are interested, I would love to meet you and just share this wonderful experience with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little story time, and yeah, I'll see you. Bye. And welcome to my video on, sorry. Okay, welcome to my video on ayahuasca. Wait, actually, let me redo that intro. Uh, okay. All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to my trip report on ayahuasca. Now, if you read the description on both lives, there is a disclaimer in the description, so I want you to first read the disclaimer that I put in the description. It basically says that this is for educational purposes only, and I do not advise you to do this unless that is your will. But we are going to get started on my trip report. So, the trip of ayahuasca. What is ayahuasca? So, it is a tree bark, and it has been grown and utilized for over thousands of years. And just one second, my cat wants to go out, so I'll take her out. Okay, hopefully she's not like annoying throughout all of this, but alright, so what is ayahuasca? Ayahuasca is a tree bark, and it has been utilized for over thousands and thousands of years, mostly by the indigenous communities of different regions, but mostly South America because that's just where it grows. But I'm sure there's other psychoactive roots and bars that are being utilized all over the world. This is just my experience, and I just touched the tip of the iceberg. I had one ceremony, and I just touched the tip of the iceberg, basically. So I've tried it once, but I intend to try it again. And I actually have a video on like trip details of Ecuador and Peru. I tried the ayahuasca in Peru, I mean not Peru, in Ecuador for the first time. That is Donde Vivo. Alright, so I'm going to talk to you about that experience that I had. So, I was in Ecuador, like I said before, and this was about maybe 8 months ago. or maybe less. I don't know. But it was summer of 2023. I believe it was in July. And the person who I did it with, his name is Harley, and he has a channel. This is just a sister channel to his content, and we are trying to get this channel monetized so that he can actually earn a living on this stuff. Because he is the few people out there speaking the truth and educating us on all these topics, and he doesn't get paid for it. So, if you guys want to support him, he does ceremonies. He has tons and tons of videos on this plant medicine, on trip reports, and of just life in general. So you can venture to that. It is just going to be a luminostic without the life on it. So I did the ceremony with him, and it was very awesome. I'm gonna go into extremely deep detail of how I was feeling, what I was experiencing, what type of things I was healing from, and hopefully that'll give you kind of a clear picture of what this plant does for you. So I was in a town called Tena, which is about 2 hours away from where my family's from. My family is from Puyo. And so I went to go visit him. First, I met up with him and his family at one of the lagoons that I was volunteering at, named the Laguna Yani. It is a very cool, beautiful place. But so I started over there and we met, and after that, we kind of discussed meeting up again and then drinking the ayahuasca. So you do drink this. This is like a thick, pasty drink. It tastes very like fiery, which is kind of the reason why it's very common in ayahuasca ceremonies. When you drink it, you usually throw up right after. It's just a part of the process. Honestly, I don't mind throwing up, so it wasn't that bad for me. But yeah, so I was in Tena and I had planned to go over to their property like a couple of days later. So a couple of days later passed by, and actually the trip started before I even took the ayahuasca. Again, ayahuasca is a psychoactive root slash bark that has been utilized for thousands of years with shamans and heals the body, spirit, and the mind. Body, spirit, mind. Yeah. So my day had started off with a unique twist. I had been with some friends, and we actually went to a very public river that day, and we were just swimming, kind of messing around before I had gone to meet up with them. And me and my friends were just kind of playing in the sand, whatever, nothing strange, just typical activities. And then I swear on everything, I am like playing with the sand, right? And I grab the sand, and the sand trickles down my hand. And what do I see in the palm of my hand? I see a true gold necklace. A golden necklace had appeared in my hand, and I truly felt like that was kind of a gift from the universe. They were like, you're about to embark on this journey that you have been meaning to do, what you are meant to do. And sorry, my cat's being crazy right now. But I had thought of it as like a gift from the universe because what are the chances? I mean, hundreds of people go to this river every single day, What are the chances that I find a real golden necklace in the palm of my hand? I didn't even have to search for it, it just came to me. I kind of take it as like you're about to experience a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of spirit. And here's a little gift for you. So that absolutely blew my mind because what are the odds also that I would be drinking ayahuasca later that night? Something that has been in my heritage, in my culture for thousands of years. So what are the odds? That was a crazy cool synchronicity with that day. And synchronicities are basically events, situations, or experiences that connect to a higher genius, a higher state of mind, or telepathy, telepathic, kind of crazy experience. So, I had found that, and that shocked me. So I just, oh, thanks for the likes, everybody. Um, it doesn't even tell me someone's on, so it tells me there's or now it shows me there's one person on. What's up? So I just had to explain that I found a gold necklace in the river in the sand the day that I was going to see you and take the ayahuasca later that night. So we're at that part. And then I go meet up with Harley and their family. And then we go to the property, and I'm basically preparing to take ayahuasca later that night. Now, I have to throw this out here. I had a harmonica. Thanks, I make these hats, and I'm definitely gonna make you one. But before my ayahuasca journey, my ayahuasca night, I was playing with this harmonica for like an hour, like right before, and I had left it in the hammock. And I didn't see anybody take her or anything, so what I'm about to say later will connect with this. But then we start going in the circle. Like there's a circle space and it has a straw sort of a straw roof and it's really cool. But the thing is with when you're doing magic, when you're doing these practices, these rituals, these ceremonies, it's always going to be in a circle, and it's always advised to not do it in big groups, okay? So Harley talks about this. Maloka, okay, so it was in a Maloka, apparently that's what that's called. And it is advised not to do, ceremonies in big groups because then I feel like it kind of loses connection with the facilitator and the person because, with a large group, it can be probably very distracting and a little bit scary, not gonna lie. I don't know. But so it was just me there taking the ayahuasca. Also, the facilitator was taking some, and he had made this brew. It is a thick paste, right? And it tastes very fiery. So when I started drinking the cups of this plant medicine, I was pretty much throwing up immediately. Like I felt it settle in my stomach, and then I was like, "Yep, I need to puke now." Um, but Illuminostic actually made a really good point today during his stream. He had an experience with a couple, and their diet was like a lot of processed foods and stuff. So the ayahuasca didn't really like go into full effect in terms of tripping. So in my experience, I actually had to have 3 cups of ayahuasca, which I was like, okay, all right. And I think that has some part to do with it because, um, yeah, like probably. So when you are preparing to take ayahuasca, and I'm also like starting to remember a dream that I had. I forgot, but like starting to like just popped in my head for some reason. Maybe I have it written down somewhere, but yeah, so when you are preparing to do like your ayahuasca, it's advisable to go on like a clean diet at least 2 weeks before, or as long as possible before. Yeah. So what had happened is the first two cups, like, they had me going a little bit, like, but the third one was what really, like, I don't remember if I had three or four, but the third cup is what really started, shit was going into full effect. Um, I couldn't tell though, like, with the first couple of cups, years forever, really. Yeah, true. You should really be eating good your entire life because food is the source of your energy and um so just watch what you eat and yeah. So, the first couple of cups of ayahuasca, I don't know if I was just like placeboing myself, I don't know, but probably I don't know. I was like trying to see something and like I would like kind of see like a little bit of visuals, but then it would just kind of go away. And I'll just kind of like lay down, chilling there. Um, my mind was really focused on like seeing something, right? Like experiencing this. So I was like, give me another cup. I'm leaving. I'm going to space. So so I go and drink the third or fourth cup, I don't remember. And this is when I start tripping balls. All right, this is when I am not right. So what happened is in the Illuminastic, you explained this in your video earlier, like this ringing in your head and this like vibration in my head. It was so immense and it was so loud. It was insane. It was just taking up all of my senses. So I heard this ringing in my head. And well, first, before that, I saw like a bunch of visuals. And the thing that I saw first that I was like, all right, yeah, I'm starting to trip balls. Um, so we were in the Maloka, and the Maloka has, structure beams. And that mixed in with the nature and it was also dark outside. It was cool. I like started to me it kind of looked like ancient tribe members were like just like holding on to the pole and they were just like looking. It's cool. So it I felt like something emerging and then coming to me like whoosh, you know. So as soon as I started seeing that kind of around me, I'm like, all right, yeah, this is operating on my brain. That's how I can explain it. It felt like this was operating on my brain, the plant medicine. So I think that's where like that ringing and that intense vibration came into my brain, came into my spirit, my soul. And yeah, I like experienced this intense vibration and I started getting overtaken by visuals. And if you've ever tried psilocybin or Lucy before, you know like how those visuals look like. So it looked like that. And then I started getting operated on, but not like physically, just like mentally. And after this like vibration kind of like dulled down a little, and the visuals were still very much active, very much. It was really cool actually. It was cool to see the visuals presented to me in a beautiful, extraordinary way. So after that kind of calmed down, I kind of came back to like reality, but I was still like very much tripping, if that makes sense. And it was really cool. The facilitator, Illuminastic Life, he had a bunch of tools that were actually helping me like um stay grounded. So I remember like listening to the music and like being overtaken with the visuals and he would like put like the sound sticks, and I could feel it like vibration starting here, going over like to my body. Like he hit points in my body that helped me like stay grounded. And I don't know, like I don't know what all you did, Harley, but I remember there's like some like shaking, like shh. You were kind of doing that like around my head and stuff, and that was really cool. That was a really cool sensation and feeling because, like, when you're tripping and stuff, it's kind of you're experiencing everything on the tenfold, so you can really feel it like in your body helping you. With like all good intention, I felt very alleviated. Um, so that's when I kind of started diving deep into my senses and diving deep into releasing, everything in the past traumas, everything like that. To be very specific, I you know, started thinking about like, oh, how can I help people? Like, in what ways can I start helping them? In what ways can I help heal them, like, you know, emotionally and stuff like that. The tuning forks and the limpiezas made from the plant leaves Suripanga. Yes, so I remember that, and that was really cool. Um, so yeah, I started like questioning in myself, like, well, how do I help people, heal? And I really want to help people, figure out their and let go of their past trauma and stuff. And the ayahuasca was like, first you need to do that to yourself. And so I started thinking about like um my family, and this isn't sad or anything, but my dad died when I was really little, so I was like, I wonder if he's like out here or something. And I don't know. I don't think like I saw like any signs from I don't know, but I did remember seeing like a male figure kind of like just like pattern, like just like a pattern, and then it just kind of went away, so I didn't really think much of it. Um but so I started feeling deep within myself, deep within my traumas. For me, I it's like for my family. So I started like crying a little bit, but then felt like the crying felt good. But then I was like, all right, I don't need to cry anymore. So I was like, all right, cry. But while I was kind of experiencing this, I felt like I don't know, but I felt like, you could like see me and you could like see how I was healing from that. And it's like I don't know if you were talking, but it's like I could hear your voice a little bit. And so I think you like helped me guide through that and just kind of like, let go of that. But yeah, for me it was like mostly my family, issues and stuff like that, and kind of like how I can build confidence within myself. And um yeah, that part was really nice to just kind of let go of everything. For example, like, I was crying, but then I didn't feel the need to cry anymore because it was all in the past and I had moved forward from that. That helped me like move forward officially. And so after that, the facilitator brought me some cool things. Like he brought me like a jaguar skull, and it was really cool. I could like, even though it was just the skull, right? It was just the skull. I could still feel like empowerment while touching this, and it felt really cool. But I will say the music that Illuminostic played was insanely trippy. Like, you know how music is whenever you are sort of kind of in a different reality. It's in tune with your emotions, it's in tune with your thoughts, right? So it was like everything I was experiencing was also being experienced in the song. Um, but the music was amazing, the vibes were amazing, the dogs were amazing too. But so after that, I had got up from the Maluka. Oh, the school was found. That's cool. So I had got it from the Maluka, and my maybe like turn of events might be a little wrong, but I don't know. So I get up from the Maluka and I start kind of like walking towards my future, like in thought. And I was kind of like being retrospected, all that stuff. So then I touched this plant, right? It was just trippy. I touched this plant and I like accidentally break it and I'm like, oh no, I did not just break that. Like I felt so bad. But then for some weird reason, it was like connecting with the fact that how like friends and family in your life, they help you get to somewhere in your life. And then sometimes they're just like you just kind of move forward from that. So the plant was kind of showing me how like those friends and family, they're all up connected to where you are right now because they help you get there in different ways. So I don't know, the plant just helped me make that correlation. I don't know. But then I just like started walking. It was raining too, and I will say at the time I gave no Fs, but I got really wet and cold. So walking in the rain, fucking around in the rain was an idea. All right, it was all right. So after like I walk on the path, I had I think at this point I went to the bathroom. I think that's why I was outside in the rain because I needed to go to the bathroom. And when I went in the bathroom, I don't know, for some reason like the bathroom just had like a red tint. I don't know. But then I walk outside and I don't know if this is when I saw the harmonica or if this was a different thing. I was following you at a short distance to make sure you didn't get in trouble. Yeah, thank goodness because yeah. But so I walk out of the bathroom. I believe I go back to sit down and I was just kind of like vibing. And then things started getting trippy again, right? They started getting very trippy. And I started thinking that like I was on a loop. So I started thinking that I had like went to the bathroom again. And I was like, wait, why did I do that? I just went to the bathroom. And then I was like, no, I'm getting confused. I don't think I went to the bathroom twice. So, and if I did, all right. So I was like telling the facilitator, oh, like I'm getting confused. And so they had this long coripe and they have rape inside of it, which is a natural organic tobacco that helps you ground a lot. It's used for healing sicknesses, grounding, all that. And especially in these ceremonies, it's used. Um, so he shot it up my nose and that shit hurted. I definitely recommend you guys to practice using rape before you do like ceremonies because my nose was stinging so bad. So it basically goes through your nose and yeah, like it was insane. I had to plug in my computer, but it was insane how uncomfortable like my body felt taking that. But it eventually ended up being good because then I stopped being confused. So yeah. Um so after that, I'm trying to think. I think I was like talking to Harley or something. And by the way, it straightened your head out, didn't it? Yeah, definitely it just helped me like I feel like honestly it helped me get all the woo out of my brain. Cause before that I was definitely like into like New Age spirituality because that was all I was being presented. Like all of that was just, you know, I kind of aligned with that. But like ever since then, and ever since I like been watching her channel and stuff, my views about like all that has completely changed. Like I actually have a book over there, and it's called 369 Manifestations, and no, because this book really had me thinking that if I just wrote something 369 times, that it would fucking appear in my life, which is not it's not true. I mean, you have to really do something for in order for your work to pay off. So sorry, I got a little bit off track there, but yeah, it helps straighten my mind, it helps straighten my spirit, and I only did that once, right? So when I say I only touched the iceberg, the very tip, the top of the iceberg, I really only did that. Um, so I believe after that, I got my head like, I was completely focused. And then I just started talking to Harley, and it was crazy because I was talking to a luminostic, and then I could literally see another eye like right up here, like it was right up. It was really cool. But then I started like focusing on like my family and appreciating like their good qualities. So I started talking about like my little cousin. His name's not Josecito. His name's Danielito, and he plays awesome guitar. And then I was like, damn, because my family's really religious. So I was like, damn, I need to protect my cousins, but also at the same time, I can't really do anything. Um, so I think I started playing the guitar a little bit. It was really cool, and I like from I'd say like freshman year of high school. I just like, would pick up the guitar, learn a song, and then just kind of put it down. Um, but when I got back to the US, I really started picking up guitar again. And yeah, it was cool. So I'm currently just trying to get better at guitar. And I would really love to like make a band or something. Because I hear stories about like Grateful Dead and like how they can just like raise everybody's consciousness. And like I've felt that before too, especially during this recent EDM little concert thing. The person up on the stage, like I feel like has a lot of power, right? So I want to just like have really cool concerts like that. So I started picking up guitar and I started playing it a little bit, and then me and Harley were talking a little bit. And then um oh yeah, yeah, okay, so this is the peak. This is the peak. So for some reason I asked the facilitator, I was like, "Oh, do you just have like a flower?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, Just like a flower or something." And so he brings out this flower, and this was the flower of, I think it was changa, I don't know. But it contains DMT. And so I inhaled the DMT, and I didn't take a very big hit, so I didn't like break through. Um Bobensana. Okay, so whatever I inhaled, it was really cool. So, yeah, Chongo. It was really cool. So after I inhaled this, I didn't take a big hit because, I mean, I don't know. I just didn't take a big hit, and I didn't blast off, right? So when you hear about people taking like DMT and stuff like that, usually they'll have stories where they literally are like out of this world talking to entities, DMT entities, and stuff like that. That's usually what you hear about like a DMT story, but mine was a little different. So I didn't blast off. I was still in the physical realm. I could see everything. I could feel I was still on this world. And let me take a bite of my apple. So I don't know what I did right after I hit it, but I do remember getting up and like peeking out of the Maluka. And Harley, please add some commentary to this, but did you see me like just looking out there and being like fucking mind blown? Because that's what it felt like. Literally, my mind was blown away. And not in a bad way. It was in such a magical, universal, connected way. So what had happened is I had looked out and the darkness and the flowers, the plants, the trees, they started making these patterns. Now, I don't want to label these patterns as anything that I'm not completely sure of, but these patterns of um these patterns of visions, right? And what I saw is they were all connected, right? They were all one, but they were each unique. Sort of like how we all come from the same higher genius, the same light, right? Whatever you want to call this source, the source energy, we all come from that, but we're all unique in our different ways, and our experiences are all unique. So I have felt that universally, right? Like I was full on telepathically communicating with these patterns of thought, patterns of energy that have been there since I don't even know how long. I mean, think about how old these trees out in the jungle are. Older than me, older than me, and older than you. So it was a crazy experience. Basically, what happened is I had gotten hypnotized. Hypnotized. And, but I wasn't like, they weren't telling me to go jump off a bridge or something. They were just, telling me a story. So they had me very focused with them. And I was kind of going through the process of my mind, like, I know that the systems that I have been living in were built and designed for a purpose, but I didn't know exactly how to put it into words. So the patterns and the energy were communicating with me telepathically. Of course, I was kind of being mind blown, so I was like saying things out loud. I was like, oh, this is crazy. But it had been kind of answering my questions as I was thinking about it. So the process that my mind went through, first, I was like, well, this is beautiful. Like, this jungle is absolutely amazing. And then they were like, yes, this is the magic that we have been trying to show, like, that we have been, that we are. This is the magic that we are. And, like, this unfiltered reality can really show you that. And so, Lumnostic said, yeah, I followed you out of sight so you didn't notice. Yeah, I was too entranced with the patterns out there that were like telepathically communicating to me. So after they kind of helped me appreciate the magic that I'm living in, I was kind of thinking, oh well, I need to get, people out here. I need to get them to come into the jungle and experience this for themselves. Because I can't even put it into words. You have to experience this to experience it. But after that I was like, well, why wouldn't people want to come? And then they were giving me a story about how like the system and stuff like that has been built on, like death and reformation into this society that completely relies on the security blankets of the government and the security blanket functions of society. So they were just telling me that, and I was like, facts, literally facts. And so I got to kind of learn from the DMT in that way, in terms of connecting with the universal mind, is what I like to put it as. So after I was getting my mind blown, um, I walked out to the kitchen. I think I was getting like water or something, and I saw like this ball. And so I was just like kicking in the ball around, but every time I kicked the ball, it like put something in my brain. And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's the reason because that happens and all of that." I was just kind of exploring the depth of my experience and kind of putting it into comprehensive actions, words that I can remember. Now, remember when I told you guys about the harmonica that I put in the hammock? I step out of the kitchen and it's pouring rain, right? So the muddy waters and oh, thanks Harley. And oh yes, I'm gonna join your live. So I'm gonna wrap this up in like 10 minutes because I'm pretty much close to the end and then I'll join your live. Um but oh my gosh, thank you. I love you. So, I kid you not, in the pebbles next to the sidewalk, there is a harmonica, right? And the harmonica looks like it had been in there for like days. It had rocks in the harmonica like so much. And so I was like, how did that get there? How did that get there? And then when I came back to the Maluka, I was literally having a party. It's like I felt like literally the dogs could were like so happy and it like reflected onto my energy and it helped me, you know, be happy in the moment and dance and be on the harmonica and listen to music, get in depth with the music. And it was a really lovely experience. So after that we just like talked some more and basically the ceremony was pretty much over. I had a come down probably lasted like 30 to 40 minutes and then, because I went in the rain and I got cold, soaked and wet, I was really cold, so I was like, all right, I think this ceremony has ended. I'm gonna go sleep. So yeah, basically after that, um, he packed up and I kind of just went back to my room and I took a video of my experience of the recap so I could watch it later back and just kind of have it for memories. And that was it. And again, guys, I only scratched the tip of the iceberg. This goes so much deeper. And I haven't yet experienced that. So if you guys want to experience that with me, I highly, highly suggest checking out my trip details video of going to Ecuador and Peru, where and if you choose to join me, will be taking on the field of plant medicines, which is going to be extremely useful and helpful within your journey, whatever you're seeking. It is there. It is there, okay? So I hope that this has kind of help you experience it through my eyes and my trip report, and hopefully incline you to come with me to Ecuador and Peru. Everyone is invited, right? So I would love to have you join with me. But besides that, the next day was normal. I didn't have like any super trippy effects or anything like that.